A group of several lawmakers say they are moving forward with a new bill that would stop all payments to lawmakers, and if they can't reach a deal on the debt ceiling, this could happen. So a new bill, everybody, would block lawmakers from getting paid if the government defaults on its loans or shuts down, which I would say is a good idea considering the fact that they don't even want to send out the stimulus checks anymore. So this is a possibility as negotiations over raising the debt ceiling have stalled between Joe Biden and the Republicans. But first of all, folks, before we get into the information, I just want to say thank you for watching my channel. And as a result, and as a way for me to show my appreciation, I just want to say, here's a free $60 Amazon gift card. Use the code right here on your screen and enter it on the checkout aisle on Amazon.com. Remember guys, it's a free Amazon gift card, and if you would like it, just redeem the code. Once again, thank you so much for watching, and be sure to stay tuned for more videos because I'll also be releasing a ton of more gift cards. Today, Democratic representatives have talked about introducing a bipartisan bill that would require the support from payroll administrators. The lawmaker would still eventually receive their pay, and the payments would be released at the end of the 118th Congress in 2025. But so far, the government is allowed to borrow about $30 trillion, everybody, and they have hit that limit in January. But still, the Treasury Department has been using extraordinary measures to pay the nation's bills. Janet Yellen has even told lawmakers that earlier this month, her best estimate is that a default could occur as June 1st, and though it could be a number of weeks later. She called it imperative that Congress act as soon as possible to increase or suspend the debt limit in a way that provides long-term certainty that the government will continue to make its payments. Earlier this week, Kevin McCarthy and Joe Biden spoke and appeared to make some progress towards the debt ceiling in a meeting earlier this week. McCarthy told reporters after the short afternoon meeting that it's possible to get a deal done by the end of the week. By the end of this year. Folks, what do you think about this? Is Joe Biden doing all that it takes, giving all of his effort to help the people out with stimulus payments? Tell me what you think in the comments below, because I definitely believe that he's not, and he could definitely be doing a ton of more work to help out the American people with stimulus checks.
I recognize the gentleman from Florida, Mr. Buchanan, to inquire.
Thank you, Madam Secretary. I want to thank you for your service. You and I just talked briefly a few minutes ago, but my passion is really to look at the big picture in terms of debt and deficits. If you look over the last 15 years, everybody talks about reducing the deficits, and that we've ran up almost $20 trillion in debt in the last 15 years or so. So what can we do about that? But also I want to how does that tie in your opinion, to inflation? In the last 4 or 5 years, or last couple of years, we ran into $4 or $5 trillion of additional spending. They like to spend another $2 trillion, but everybody feels in our area that it's impacting inflation in a big year, and it's killing a lot. I'm in Florida, so a lot of our seniors count on a slight raise here and there, and this deficit is really hurting them badly. So what's your thought between spending and inflation? It seems like there's a connection.
Well, so spending has come down. Government spending and the deficit have come down dramatically. We had a substantial response to the pandemic, which was appropriate. It succeeded in getting our economy back to full employment and mitigating a great deal of harm. In that way, I think it was very successful. But there's no question that inflation is unacceptably high, and we need to get it down. And it's partly a matter of demand and supply. And the Federal Reserve has a primary responsibility.
Madam Secretary, we're just short on time. Let me ask you just quickly in terms of interest rates rising. It's impacting a lot of people. In the 70s, you know, we had inflation. We used that as I think our major tool to try to tap down inflation. But as you raise interest now, 50 basis points or 100 basis, you're probably talking $300 billion in additional taxes. It doesn't seem like we can continue to raise rates because of the massive deficits and the debt that we have.
First payment, a maximum of $841, which was issued on September 1st. The second payment, also for up to $841, will be sent out at the end of the month. However, the $1,600 maximum total for September is only for single recipients. An eligible individual with an eligible spouse receives up to $1,200 per payment, while a stipend of $420 per payment goes to those living with or providing for SI beneficiaries. The program is overseen by the SSA and provides monthly payments to adults and children with a disability or blindness who have income and resources below specific financial limits. SSI payments are also made for people 65 and up without disabilities who meet certain financial qualifications. You might be eligible to receive SSI monthly payments even if you already received SSI or SSDI or retirement benefits. About 7.6 million people receive SSI benefits, in fact, and not everyone gets the same amount. You might get more if you live in a state that adds the money to the federal SSI payment, or get less if you have other income. Because of the way the system works, 2 SSI payments are sent in September, April, and December. But that doesn't mean you're getting extra money. It's to make up the 3 months that have no payments sent out in January, May, and October. There is a new deposit date for inflation checks. Here's the listen up. Listen up, everybody. It's about to get really important. Millions of eligible households who qualify for the SNAP will continue to get an important financial boost amidst an inflation crisis that has dealt the United States a hard blow. The amount each family could receive mainly depends on their income as well as certain expenses. Several states have officially announced they will offer additional SNAP benefits to eligible families. The assistance is intended to help households struggling to make ends meet as a result of joblessness or decreased hours following the crisis. Last year, Congress and the USDA decided to temporarily modify SNAP eligibility. Under the new rules, each household must meet certain requirements and also asset requirements in order to qualify. The household income should be at or below 130% of the federal poverty level, which has been at $1,800 a month in 2022. For example, this means that the federal poverty line for a 3-person family is $2,400 a month. Meanwhile, a household without an elderly or disabled member must have assets of $2,500 or less. The Pennsylvania SNAP program has been benefiting families in the U.S. states since it came into effect. The good news is that the recipients are going to continue to get extra monthly checks throughout October 2022. And now, due to the crisis, SNAP recipients have been receiving extra monthly checks as well. On July 15th, the Biden administration extended the federal emergency declaration due to the crisis for an additional 90 days. Therefore, the SNAP payments will continue through the end of this month. The extra payment will bring households that are only eligible for a partial benefit up to the maximum benefit amount for their household size. Households that are eligible for the maximum benefit amount will receive an extra $95 a month. In the upcoming weeks, millions of Americans can anticipate receiving some financial assistance. Due to new tax rebates, Illinois taxpayers will soon get checks in the mail. Illinois is also passed early this year into providing one-time individual income tax refunds, as well as rebates on property taxes for people who meet certain specific requirements. Residents must have paid Illinois property tax, and also those who submitted a 2021 tax form will automatically be reimbursed. Illinois citizens can still submit the form online to receive the rebate. There is also an update on student loan forgiveness. Democratic Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez believes Americans should be more supportive of one another and that we can start by embracing President Biden's student loan forgiveness plan. Ocasio-Cortez mentioned other programs that use taxpayer dollars to benefit specific populations. The first-time homeowner benefits, Medicare for senior citizens, and roads that even public transit users help fund through taxes.
Dollars.